The idea of the personal AI tutor has been overhyped at this point. What they're actually solving is an accessibility issue. Do we have enough access to content? And while the accessibility issue is prevalent in certain parts of the world, which don't have enough access to information in certain languages, I think that for the biggest part, we have actually solved the accessibility issue. I think that the issue in education isn't really an accessibility issue, it's a design issue. One example I came across was from Mitchell Resnick's book, Lifelong Kindergarten, where he talks about kids who would be underperforming in normal classroom situations, and then also those kids were some of the biggest contributors on Scratch, for example. Creating things which would require a lot of effort on their part, they were happily spending hours coding and helping other kids. And all Scratch is just the environment in a way. Because what we actually have to do is not come up with more content. We don't have to come up with more information, with more ways to access information, with easier ways to access information. All of those things already exist. What we actually have to do is create environments where learning becomes natural, basically. And I think AI does allow us to do that, but not in the way that we're thinking about it right now. You cannot just give a chatbot to a child and expect him to learn physics. That doesn't usually happen give it to an adult and you'll see that no result comes out of it. So I think that the reason why this whole overhyping of AI agents and AI personal tutors happens in education specifically is because we think of education as any other field or sector that you could create a startup in. But educational startups are very different from any other sort of startups. Because in a way you're selling a pain. Learning is hard. So how do you make learning, which is a hard thing, also something people want to do? Well, that's the hard question. Now my bet is basically that projects are one of the best ways for students to be engaged into the actual learning process, rather than just consuming the lecture and listening to the lecture without actively engaging with the material. And there are many models in which this could be implemented. So a good question would be, what's the best model to use in this instance? And the answer is, I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to see which model would be the best one to help students actively engage with information through projects primarily in the age of AI, and how could artificial intelligence facilitate that process, not by outsourcing the thinking process in itself, but by enhancing what we as humans are capable of doing.